What's going on, Show Nation? It's Movie with Movie Gaming TV, and in today's video I'm going to help you out with your PCI tracking and pitch recognition. Pitch recognition is extremely important. You're going to be able to move the PCI to the ball and absolutely crush it, but it's all about recognizing the pitches. Alright, so we're going to go up against Garrett Cole, 4-seam fastball, slider, knuckle curve, and changeup. We're going to take off the 2-seam fastball for now. And we're going to focus on calling now what pitch it is. Now, when you're pitching, you always want to use pitch tunneling. What is pitch tunneling? Pitch tunneling is basically, let's say I have a sinker and a cutter. It looks like it's coming out of my hands on the same plane. You know, it's on the same plane, and then it breaks one way or it breaks the other way. That's what makes somebody that has like Garrett Cole's repertoire of a 4-seam fastball, a slider, a knuckle curve, and a changeup, your kind of traditional pitches, very hittable in MLB The Show, because the 4-seam fastball, it doesn't break in like a sinker, or it doesn't break away like a cutter. It just stays on that same plane, which makes it very easy to aim your PCI on it. You just have to be sitting on it. So you will just sit on that 4-seam fastball, and then you're going to look for a bend on the slider, the knuckle curve, or the changeup. You'll look for a different path. Now, one of the things that I really think is important also, right? So this is something I want you to think about, okay? You can eliminate all the other pitches. So what do I mean by that? I fall into this trap myself, and it's a very simple tip. We only have, right here, we only have 4 different paths that the ball can take out of Garrett Cole's hands. It can either be completely straight with the fastball, it can be somewhat straight but have a little bit of bend with that slider. It can have a huge hump in the path, like a huge bend in the path with the knuckle curve, or it can have the changeup, which is going to look a lot like the fastball, but it's going to have a slight bend to it as well. So we don't have to worry about a sinker, we don't have to worry about a cutter, we don't have to worry about a forkball, we don't have to worry about all these different things. We have 4 paths that we're looking for. So in our mind, we want to be picking up these paths as quickly as possible. And the quicker that we can pick them up, we're going to have a ton of success. So this is really where you take your game to the next level with pitch recognition, and that is going to help you track the ball with your PCI, because you're going to read what pitch it is. Now, you're always going to pick up that release point, but you can't, obviously you can't see at the release point, is it going to be a fastball, slider, a knuckle curve, or the changeup. You're going to try to pick that up as you pick up the path of the ball after it leaves their hand. So if you notice, I like to think of it as like 1 to 5 feet after it's left their hand. It might be a little bit further, it might be a little bit shorter, I don't know. That's why I kind of think, I feel like in about 1 to 5 feet after it leaves its hand, you can start to see the pattern. Is it going completely straight? Is there that slight bend to the left or the right or whatever on the slider? Does it have that bend motion, that hump motion from the knuckle curve, or does it have it from the changeup? All right, so here's where we're going to start off. We're going to start with the 4-seam, a slider, and a changeup, because this is what a lot of relief pitchers have in MLB The Show. They have the fastball, a slider, and the changeup. Later on, we'll add this knuckle curve in so you can see that path as well. But just picture this not so much as Garrett Cole, but just like your average reliever in the game. 4-seam, slider, changeup. All right. So we're trying to pick up these paths immediately out of his hand. We want the fastball. We are dead red fastball hitters. We can see the fastball, pick it up immediately, see that it's just going to be straight. It didn't have that bend to it that we're looking for if it's not. But we're trusting every pitch is going to be a straight fastball. That's a changeup. We're a little bit out in front. Changeup doesn't look too much different than a fastball, but it does still have that bend to it. Huge bend on that. Huge bend on that. Apparently we have the knuckle curve on. I must have had the knuckle curve still on or something like that, but you can see the huge bend on the knuckle curve. It looks so much different than the fastball almost immediately. That's definitely a fastball. You can see the straight plane out of his hand. All right, are you calling these out? You know, call these out as you watch the video. All right, call these out. You can see that bend. Could you see the bend on the slider there? That was a fastball all the way. Could you pick that one up off just watching the video? That was a fastball all the way. We're just going to crush that. The sitting fastball, the easiest one to aim. easiest one to recognize. I was late on that. I picked it up as a fastball, but I just was still late on that. All right, here we go. Fastball, picked it up, all over it. Easy to aim. When you can pick up that tunnel of the fastball quickly, you're gonna have a lot of success on it. There it is again. There it is again. Picked up the fastball immediately. Absolutely crushed it. That's what we want to see. Here we go. Pick up these paths. Pick up these paths. Fastball immediately. Could you tell it was a fastball immediately? I mean, it just had that straight tunneling action. No bend to it whatsoever. No bend to it whatsoever. It just stayed straight. Here we go. Fastball immediately again. Just immediately. 1 to 5 feet after it leaves his hand, we don't see a bend. We know it's straight. Plus, our eyes are just looking for it to be straight. Just looking for it to be straight out of the hand. All right, here we go. That was a changeup. Could you see the slight bend in the changeup? Just that slight bend in the changeup. Here we go. I saw the slider too. You see the slight bend in the slider after it left his hand. It's just so important to pick it up quickly, because when you pick it up quickly and you have that pitch recognition, then you're going to be able to track the ball better, because you're going to know what the end path is going to be, you know. Slider again. We got a little bit under that, honestly, but we did see it was a slider, and that's the key. So I moved our PCI towards it. Watching the release point, and then that first like few feet after it leaves his hand, and trying to pick up what the flight of the ball is going to be. Here we go. Fastball, we crushed it. Just recognizing it quickly lets your brain know where to move the PCI, because you're going to see that path. It's all about using your eyesight, all about using your mind as well. You know, I don't have to look for these other paths. You know, I don't. Let's turn on another one here. But I don't have to look for these other patterns. There's only 3 patterns that we had on right there. Let's go ahead and, I guess the knuckle curve is on. I don't know. Let's put the knuckle curve on. But just, you know, at this point we only have 4 different patterns this ball can take. There was the knuckle curve. We were early on it and still crushed it. We saw that big bend from the knuckle curve. 1 of 4 patterns the balls can travel with. How quickly can you use your mind to pick it up? That time just saw fastball immediately. Just saw fastball immediately. And the fastball is just so much easier to aim than the sinker and the cutter, because it's fast, but it just stays straight. It just stays straight. There it is again. All over that. All over that. All right, here we go. What's it gonna be? Fastball inside. We crushed it. We're on time with it. Take that pitch out. Take that pitch out. You eliminate the fastball, especially on a pure fastball pitcher. I was a little bit late on that because I was talking, but you eliminate the fastball on a pitcher like Cole, Garrett DeGrom, one of these relief pitchers. It's going to be tough, because spotting sliders and changeups is not as easy. It's just not as easy to spot those pitches as it is to spot, you know, your fastball. Fastball is the easiest pitch to aim. It has like the least amount of power. It's the easiest pitch to dot. That was a high and inside fastball that I just missed. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen from time to time. We're trying to eliminate that as much as possible. That's what makes the game fun. All right, it's just that it's how well, you know, how well can you just consistently, you know, execute, you know. That's the fun part of the game. Saw the fastball there, down and away. A little bit early on it. Could have had some better aim. Let's pick up the pitch. Fastball immediately. How quick can we pick this up? Fastball immediately. Fastball immediately. Look at the aim on that, and look at, you know, our result. It's because we're picking it up quickly. We're not picking it up 5 feet away from the plate. We're picking it up immediately. Slider. You see that bend? You see that bend that time on the slider? Still got a perfect foul, which is always interesting, but still, I'm happy with that swing. Saw a little bit of you know, just saw the change up there, a little bit taken off there, a little bit of a bend that you wouldn't see in the fastball. And like, that's why the curveball, I mean, that's why the curveball is just not very good. This screwball has been so much better. The curveballs are a little bit better, but you can just recognize curveballs so quick, right? Like that curveball path, doesn't it look so much different? Like at least the slider and the changeup and the fastball, they all kind of look the same, but that curveball, it just sticks out. It just sticks out so much, you know, compared to the other paths that when you can pick that up quickly, like I'm stressing in this video for you to pick up quickly, you're gonna know it's a curveball like immediately and just be able to crush it, or even be able to lay off it. Because a lot of curveballs, you know, the people are going to try to get you to swing over the top of a curveball like 0-2, 1-2. That's the best way to use it instead of trying to dot it. I mean, you can just see that huge bend in that curveball. I'm going to try to lock in here more. That was not a good swing. All right, look at fastball. And was not a good swing either on that slider, to be honest with you. All right, look at fastball. Fastball. Got the changeup a little bit out in front of it, but we want to be out in front of it. We don't want to be late. If anything, we want to be out in front of everything. Saw fastball immediately. Good solid contact there. Fastball. A little bit late on that. I picked it up that it was a fastball immediately, but again, that is why we play the game. Just try to be consistent and try to get better. That's what makes it fun. Can we be consistent every time? I saw the bend on that slider. I just missed it badly. But I really hope at this point you're trying to see the different pass out of the hand immediately. The people that can do that, that's what really takes their game to the next level. Look how early we were on that fastball. That's a beautiful read right there. Red fastball immediately. Saw the bend on that slider. Crushed it. We were foul, but we crushed it. All right, here we go. Saw the fastball all over it, crushed it. And that's the thing, you know. And that's why we'd rather be early. If we're early, that means we're picking up the baseball. If we're late, that means we're not picking up the baseball. We're going to get jammed. People are going to be able to throw us inside. We're going to get jammed, you know. Saw fastball there immediately. Saw that pass. Just practice these pass, you know. Practice recognizing the pitch. Recognize the pitch. You're going to have a lot of success. I feel like we'll end the video right there. But you catch my drift. Pick up the pitch early. That's going to help you out. Look for the tunneling path. Quicker you recognize the pitch, easier it is going to be to track with your PCI and aim. And sit on that fastball, I'm telling you right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace out.